Now shut up. The show's starting.
Hey everybody, it's me, Esther Goldberg, and that's Estertainment, and boy do we have a great show lined up for you today. Oh my God, I can't wait for you to meet my girlfriend. We've known each other for a few years, and she's one of the most incredible tarot. She's a certified tarot master. She's a certified psychic. She's been in the business for 50 years. Like when I was born. I'm lying. But anyway, she's joining us today, and we're just going to talk about everything, life, the world, and I want to find out more about her, because that's what's so exciting. So many times with psychic mediums, they come on and everybody wants them to answer, the questions about you. Now, we're going to find out about them. And without much further ado, are you ready to meet? Hold on. There we go. My girlfriend, Corbie Mitleid. There we go.
Mitleid.
Do that. I do that every time.
You do, but it's all right. I love you anyway.
Okay, everybody, you have to understand. For years, Corbie's last name is pronounced
Mitleid.
And I keep saying Mitleid. And I guess it's because it's a subconscious thing that hasn't happened in my life in years. It's terrible. Yeah. How are you, love?
Wonderful. I want you to know I pulled out my rhinestone glasses just for you. I saved them for special occasions.
Oh my God, we're sisters.
We are. They look like the glasses my mother would wear when she'd go to Mahjong,
I love it. I love it, Mahjong. Oh, look. Hi, Alan Shores. Hi, David Gribb. How are you? I am just so excited. So tell me, Corbie.
Yes, babe.
50 years experience. What did you start before you were born?
No, darling. No. I'm 66, and I tell people that you can look like this, but the two magic words are no children. It takes 10 years off your looks right there. I started reading in high school. I mean, that was the year Live and Let Die came out, and Spencer Gifts had the James Bond 007 tarot deck, and I bought it. We were all hippies then. So, that's been a while.
That's one of the things that I always, Alan Shore says, hi, Corbie. Alan Shore is a comedian writer, by the way. He sends the biggest crap to my way that I sometimes post. We rob each other's jokes all the time. But
it's okay.
The thing, when incredibly gifted people like yourself come on the show, I always like to find out, how'd you know? When did you, and by the way, there's a cat behind you.
Yes, that's Baron Manfred. All of you who like Maine Coon cats, that's a Maine Coon. He's one of 3.
And do they come on whenever you go on camera? Do they just show up all of a sudden?
They do, or they sleep on the cat tree, whatever. But they don't do readings.
Right.
You don't have thumbs on those little cat paws. You can't hold the cards. So
Alan goes, doing tarot reading in the womb. Yes, she was.
Honey. My family does not believe in what I do. They don't. Look, Dad was a doctor. My mother was a nurse. My brother is a doctor. I was the theater major. They could discuss medications. And when my brother was in med school, his anatomy class, I could tap dance on the table and recite Shakespeare, omega brain, not connecting. So I was always the rebel, theater major. Right. Yes.
So when did you know? When did it hit you that you were able to pick up vibes, spirits? There's because one of the things I wanted to ask you, and I haven't asked any of the other guests that I've had about the tarot reading, is because lots of times you do a tarot reading, right? And then you'll pick a spirit. We'll talk to you through the tarot cards.
Yes, absolutely. People who say, "Oh, you're just reading out of the book." No, darling. There is a particular card. It's the 3 of Pentacles. And the 3 of Pentacles normally shows a guy in a church, and he's doing something with the stained glass windows. And the card usually means mastery, or it means long-term.
Right.
Well, I pulled that card in Kitchener, Ontario for a couple, and I looked at it. What comes out of my mouth? But there's this deconsecrated or abandoned church that's about 2 miles from here, and you need to open up a cafe bakery there. I have no idea why that came out of my mouth. That was spirit going, and they looked at each other and go, yeah, we know, we've been arguing for 2 years. Ain't me. I'm just the tube it comes through.
Oh my gosh.
So, it's like, I don't believe my own press. I am not one of those who says her aura don't stink. Not at all. But that's how you use cards. And the rest of it, yeah, direct download. If you ask me, what do I need to do for my career? And I say, the first thing you need to look for is a plaid fire engine with a rutabaga. I'm sorry, this is what spirit is telling me. Yeah, and maybe that's the logo of the business you're going to end up working for.
That's right. A Jew with rutabagas. That's the highlight of my life.
Who knows? I know, Look, when you've got things like Gritty for the Philadelphia Flyers, who knows who has a logo with a rutabaga? Just trust it. Right? Spirit is saying.
Oh. So. Someone just wrote, Alan Shore says, you can tell the difference immediately between a real medium and a book medium. I guess. Yeah. That's like what you're just explaining, which is people who's like, hold on for a second. Let me look it up here. Okay.
Yeah, but Alan, darling, I'm going to give you a little education, okay? All mediums are psychic, but not all psychics are mediums. Mediums talk to your dead Aunt Sally, specifically dead people.
Right.
Psychics do all the stuff. And mediums use their psychic ability to go find dead Aunt Sally. Okay?
So you are a psychic trained medium.
Yes. Meaning I talk to dead people. I talk to spirit guides and angels. I'm a past life specialist. And yeah, I use the cards.
It's amazing.
So I'm a general practitioner. When you sit down with me, I'm going to say to you, what's the most important thing you want to get out of here knowing? And if you go blank on me, I'll go Brooklyn on you and go, darling, what's biting your butt? Because everybody will have that one thing. And that tells me where to start.
Oh, definitely. Okay, back to my original question. We keep going. We keep getting incredible information because people want to hear this. People want to know this. When did you know? When did you know? When did you know that you had this gift to know and see and feel the other side, to be able to have that vision of what is on the other side, and that the other side sometimes wants to communicate with us?
Well, I wanted it since I was 9. And working with tarot for 20 years and making sure my ego stayed on the shelf cleared me out enough that in 1994, all of a sudden I could do hands-on healing and talk to dead people with no training. Right. As I say, that's when Spirit handed me my draft notice and said, greeting, I'm the universe and you're working for me.
Interesting. Hello, Marissa Cantu. Thank you for tuning in. There's a bunch of people on, but they're not.
Nice.
They're not talking in the comment room, but that happens. Arthur Shuey. I visited a tarot card reader. What is? Oh gosh. Somebody being funny. I visited a tarot card reader who used a waterproof deck. She told me I was in way over my head.
Nice. We'll write that one down and keep it. Thank you very much.
So to let everybody know, Corbie and I have known each other for, gosh, how many years now? At least
15
years.
At least. Yeah.
We met through a mutual friend, Allie Cheslick. And those of you that know me know Allie was like my little sister and would give me grief constantly. And sometimes she just shows up. And it's so fun.
It does. Like right now.
I
dedicated my book, The Psychic Yellow Brick Road, to Allie, because 2 years before she passed, we were sitting at Stewart's. I was eating ice cream. She was smoking. And she's saying, you got a book. I'm saying, look, Allie, everybody has a book. It's already been written. Are you arguing with me? Am I ever wrong? You've got a book. I'm telling you, you have a book. Well, who else could I dedicate the book to but Allie? Because she predicted it.
Right. Oh my gosh, we're getting people there. Hold on, let me get this over here. Somebody just from, where is this from? Corbie Cancer. Hold on. There we go. Hello from Scotland. Hey, Leslie Russell, how are you? Hello. There's so many people popping in. Oh, hello from England. There we go. Carla Casimiro from England. Did I tell you I was international, Corbie?
Well, of course. I mean, you're too big to stay in any one country. You know that, Esther.
I'm international. But so you developed that. You developed that. When did you start? Like when in high school?
Like in elementary, or let's go to high school, because in elementary school, I'm sure you didn't like.
Yeah, no, I was the weird kid that everybody bullied in elementary school, you know, the fat four eyes. But that was then. This is now. Remember, in 1973, we were all hippies. Okay. And so I could have the deck and I
Right.
would learn to read with it. And yeah, the first couple of years, it was just exactly what the deck said. And then, you know, it's like going to the gym. You go once every 2 months, it's ugh. You go every day with a 50-pound weight. I
Right.
was reading every day. Anybody who would sit down and ask me a question, I was reading the deck, man. And I learned to tell the stories. You know, look, theater major at Brown, Actors Institute in New York. I'm a storyteller, and the cards let you tell the stories, especially if you know how to bring it to your clients. I'm looking for this one particular card that I can explain you. All right.
I love this.
There's a card called the Tower, and it shows this tower that's collapsing and people are falling off and dying and there's flames and it looks awful. And people see this and they're thinking, oh my God, my life is over. She's going to tell me that I'm going to be hit by a bus in 2 weeks and what's going on.
Right.
And I say to them, no, here it is. I want you to think of this as the imploding sports stadium. Yankees want to build a new stadium. They're going to have to blow up the old one and clear the ground, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what the Tower card generally says is get ready to clear the ground. Last year, 2019 was a normal year. 2020 was the year of murder hornet bingo and hold my beer. Last year was a Tower year for most of us. Ground needed to be cleared.
Right.
Because the world's going to be different. So that's why you shouldn't be scared of the cards. It's a piece of paper with ink on it.
Right.
There's nothing scary. Now, Ouija boards, I will tell you to stay away from Ouija boards.
Really?
Yes. Ouija boards, you know, when someone just picks it up and doesn't know how to ground center and shield and protect themselves,
Right.
it's like throwing open your door in a strange neighborhood and yelling free beer. You don't know who's out there, but they heard you and they're coming.
Right.
And I have had to deal with two hysterical teenagers who, when they put their hands on the planchette and said, who's there, spelled very fast backwards was, I have an axe and I'm here to kill you. Trust me, that's not your Uncle Danny.
Yeah.
And for everybody who says it's in the toy department, because I get this all the time.
Right.
When I do a lecture, I'll say, okay, who here has a kid or grandchild under 10? And the hands go up. And all right, you, what's the name? Josh. How old is Josh? Josh is 7. Okay. Josh comes to you and says, Mommy, I got all A's on my report card. And you said that I could have a toy, anything I wanted. So let's go to the toy department. And he shows you a box that says, my first chainsaw.
Right.
So the toy department, you're going to let him play with it by himself? I don't think so. So no, Ouija boards, you do not need. There are other ways to play cards or crystal balls or scrying bowl and have somebody teach you.
Right.
There are decent teachers out there.
So you
trust me, you don't want icky things coming out of your toilet.
Right. True. I'm sorry, I just had a visual. It was from Taco Bell a week ago. Anyway, I had no, it's funny. It's, you know, I've been around people who've had Ouija boards and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
I swear to God to you, I always have an uneasy feeling. I've always had an uneasy feeling with the Ouija boards. Debbie Tatel says hi, and she agrees with you 100%. You know, Debbie?
I know, Deb. Hi, babe. I do.
So
You see, the thing is,
look at this. She goes, this is why I love Corbie, the way she is right now.
mwah on you, Debbie. Mwah. Everything has a rep, okay? Ouija boards are used in bad B movies and snuff films. And on the other hand, Santa Claus, you just see a picture of Santa Claus.
Right.
You assume Santa's good. So what you're doing is you're putting all of these thought forms. Hold on.
Hold on. Get a glass of water. Okay. Okay. Meanwhile, come on, girl. Do you need a glass of water? I can put you on hold.
I got it. Nope.
Okay.
Went down the wrong way. That's an example. Something is difficult. This is what can happen.
It's okay. I've had it happen on stage performing, and I've had this. It's okay. I can bring you down. I can take you off for a second if you need to get a.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Somebody's got a Ouija board aimed at my show today. Damn it!
They do. They do.
Trying to screw with me.
But no, the mark of a true professional is you stay on camera and you say, you know what, life is not perfect. But
no, but this
the
is
whole point is Ouija boards have a bad rep. Now, some people, the only introduction was on Downton Abbey, where the downstairs servants got the dead fiance telling Mary and Matthew to go get married. Well, that's lovely.
right.
But that's once.
Right.
Most of the time, you'll see it in snuff films. And I have seen people
Snuff
who
film.
have big snuff films. That's where people get killed.
Right.
Yes. And it's supposedly predicted by the Ouija board. I've seen people who have big 6x4 rugs with Ouija boards in their living room. I'm sorry. I if your cat runs on it funny, you don't know what the cat is going to bring up. So no.
Right.
No, you don't do those sort of things. You just don't.
Interesting. That is so. That blows me away. And there are people that have Ouija board freaking rugs in their houses. I'm sure.
I know.
Well, no,
I know. I will not step foot in that room.
I know. That is so amazing. So what do you do mostly when you have readings with people? For instance, you do the past life. Is it past life regression? Is that what it is?
No.
Past life?
No, there's a difference. There's a difference between regression and retrieval. Regression must be done by a certified hypnotherapist or past life regressionist, because they take you into trance and you go wandering around in the Akashic and you may see a horrible past life, a murder or something like that. They are trained to be able to pull you out so you can watch it, but not relive it. I do retrieval, which is you tell me, why am I upset that I have wet hair in my face? I can't even stand one strand. I'm the one who goes up to the Akashic, pulls down the information and says, read this.
Interesting.
So you get the information,
right,
but you're not involved in it.
There's a movie coming out this week with Hugh Hugh Jackman. Have you seen the ads?
Yes. No, tell me about it.
No. But he goes back. He goes into this water thing, and to go back to his past to relive it.
Okay.
I mean, it has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
All right, that's all I got to go see it. Simple professional interest. You got to understand.
But it's of course they've got all kinds of murder and mystery and stuff like that from what you see in the ads and stuff like that. Dwayne called it what did he call it? He called it a demon gateway. Is what he called is what he's saying is a Ouija board. Oh, so
he's not wrong.
God forbid you have to possess Roomba on one of those Ouija rugs.
Absolutely. And then you have the cats that ride the Roomba, so then the cats become possessed. Just terrible idea. Terrible idea.
Lightning bolt shooting out of their eyes. That is hysterical.
Yes. And when you've got a 26-pound Maine Coon, that's a lot of demons. So no, we're not going to go there.
That is a big cat. For those that have did, there was a wonderful little Maine Coon cat behind her, but it's not there anymore. Now she said, "I'm over this redhead."
That's all right, and that's the tiny one,
right? So, okay. So, do you, one of the things? Goes back to our dear friend, God rest her soul, Allie, and she and I used to go at it all the time. And if you remember, Allie said Donald Trump is going to be president when everybody else said he wasn't going to be president. This is before, do you know what I'm talking about? And I said,
I do.
I said, Allie, you're picking up Movie Channel and Radio Free Europe. There is no chance in hell that man is going to be the president. And sure enough, he got elected. And I just went, I cannot believe she was right on that. But this was like a year before the election when there was no chance in hell. Anyway, I'm leading to, with what's happening in the world right now. I am sure you have some feelings, or have you been able to pick up anything spiritually about this world and what is happening in Afghanistan and just what's happening in this country. I don't know if you're a vaccinated person, if you believe in the vaccine or not. There are people that don't. Good. So same here.
Double Moderna,
Double
February and March.
I had the Johnson.
I'll tell you, I was talking with my friend Pat Dumas. She's out of York, Pennsylvania. I think she's one of the best astrologers I know.
Right.
And she's scary predictable. She always does this is what I see for the year in January. January 2020, she predicted Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Last year, January 2021, she predicted the twin pandemics, which is what we have now, vaccinated versus unvaccinated.
Right.
She predicted the chaos of January 6th. She predicted the downfall of a major Democratic personality, sexual peccadillos. Hello, Cuomo.
Oh, no.
And she says that we are in for a roller coaster, no brakes through the funhouse. And I agree with her. Think about the tower card I just showed you.
Right.
America is not going to be what it was. No. So our job, all of us, not just we WikiWoo people, we need to help the Gen X, millennials, and Gen Zs, because they're the next ones stepping up. I'm an elder baby. I don't need to be on the stage anymore.
Of course.
So it's going to be a rough ride, but I think that America will come out of it different, but better.
I think so.
I don't know what's going to be with red versus blue, Hatfield versus McCoy, Republicans versus Democrats. Elections are going to be contested for the next 4 or 5 cycles, no matter who wins.
Oh, right. Because that person has already set the stage to do that. Obama said something way back a couple of years ago after when he left, and then who was elected, and he just said America always will save itself. In the end, America will save itself. We're too powerful of a democracy. I personally think these idiots that aren't getting vaccinated, they're basically just thinning the herd. It's that's much less Republican voters that aren't going to be able to vote. But, it's like you're saying, there's so much going on, and there are a lot of people. And let me ask you this: your business, because in a way, this is business. I am sure with people dealing with the pandemic and people being stuck in their homes, there's I don't want to say mental illness, but are you finding people contacting you more and more?
Yes.
The pandemic?
Yes. I mean, look, especially just let's look at last year. I wasn't on the road. I used to be on the road 45 weekends a year. Allie nicknamed me the Travel Channel. But when people are at home and they are not distracting themselves, they get scared and they call us. Now, a lot of it has been career,
right,
and finances. And because I used to be a headhunter, an executive recruiter, I'm able to address that with them. But what I need to do is people need to understand it's going to be different. And I am going to this is a book of friends of mine that just came out, Redefining Rich. Achieving true wealth, side hustles, and smart living. Because this is where we're going to have to be.
This is what I'm doing.
So, right. Yeah. I highly recommend this book. It's by Shannon Hayes. Because they used to say in Japan, they had the company men. They'd be there for 35 years. There's never going to be anything like that again. And the people who will always be like the cork that bobs to the top will be the people who know how to do their own business, thrive, etc. What do you think about people saying that we've reached a higher consciousness in the earth, splitting into two with enlightened and unenlightened? It's already doing that, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Now, that does not mean there's going to be a rapture. But people who are stuck on the old paradigms are not going to be able to survive when things shift. It is the people who are willing to say, I can pivot,
right,
that are important. Okay. I mean, look, this is a Jewish American princess. I grew up in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. That's like Scarsdale South.
Of course.
I grew up with the idea that I was going to be as well off or better than my parents.
Right.
Not happening. So I have, if you will, downsized what I need and want.
Right.
I have a tiny little bungalow in the middle of a 12-acre hayfield in upstate New York where my neighbors are sheep. It is not what I imagined I would be like in my 60s, but it's perfect because it's not in the city with the crazies.
Right.
It is a paid-off house, and we aren't trying to keep up with the Joneses, the Smiths, the Parkers, and the O'Malleys.
Right.
That's where you got to go. You can't, the consumer society has got to ditch itself.
Now, and you were so right. We were having a discussion before the show, before we came on. We were just talking about helping you get your lighting and everything set up because the world has changed. You know, about a week ago, I was going through I haven't had depression in a while, but it hit me like a sledgehammer in my forehead last week. And I just was like,
what happened, baby? Talk to me.
What am I going to do? And I write about it because I found out that when I put it up on my Facebook page, there are a lot of people who aren't as strong as we are. And
not at all.
And when I am open, I get all these incredible messages from people going, thank you for helping me, you know, get through the depression. You talk about it out loud. But my point being, one of the things that has happened here in Vegas, talking about having to redefine who we are with a small business. I'm a small business. Well, guess what? The city, Caesars, closed down 15 showrooms. There are no small shows, which is why I came here to Vegas in the first place, was to do a show. So I've had to redefine myself. And it goes back to what we're doing here today. We didn't do this 10 years ago. We did not do this the way you and I are able to have a professional television show on the internet streaming where people can see your gift. They will be able to like, oh, gosh, Corbie's cool. And they'll be able to go online and get all your information and talk to you. You know, and it's the other way that we have to make an income, you know. And
things shift. They have to shift.
Right.
When I first started doing psychic fairs in 2002, we recorded the session on a tape. Then we went to CDs. Now it's an MP3. You have to move with the times or you're never going to make it.
Do you remember? I remember it was all those radio. Remember, Allie had every time I turned around, she was another radio show. I'm like going, geez, girl. But that's what it was all the blog shows. Remember, it was Blog Talk Radio, blog this, blog that.
Yes.
Doing. Of course, now guess what it's called? A podcast. A podcast. Well, we have, back to what you are saying, we have defined ourselves because podcasts are basically, it's radio in the new generation, you know.
It is. And just like in the old days, you had to keep sending out your book and you get rejected. Maybe someday it'll be published. I self-published. I wanted my words out there and it's perfect. So guys, get your head out of the 1990s, please, God. Come into the 2020s.
Right. Thank you, Debbie. We love you there. How are things in Arkansas? but no, and it's like I was talking to you about a friend of mine. You know, about, you know, you can make an income doing YouTube channels. You can actually make more money if you get people to follow you and talk to you. That's what I was saying. My gorgeous friend Sloan, I love her more than life itself. And she called me, I guess it was 3 or 4 months ago, and said, Esther, you need to get back on YouTube because I had that lawsuit and I couldn't do anything. And she said, get back on. You can double what I'm making and with viewerships if you get back on. You've got to do it now. And so I followed her advice and I started doing it. And, you know, in order to get monetized on YouTube.
Yes, monetized.
You have to have, you have to have 1,000 subscribers. I've got 10,000.
4,000 hours of watch time or something.
But guess what?
What?
In 3.5 weeks, Corbie, guess how many hours I have? 3,200. A little bit more. It might be 3,300 this morning. I haven't seen it. But
so you're getting there. You're getting there.
But here's the secret. And this is me giving advice to Corbie.
Yes. Dear Esther. Well, what do I do to get monetized on YouTube?
You do a show like this, and it's so simple, and you have to basically, I use Sloan as the template. And watch what she does. She just comes on, and see, you have the gift of gab too. My God, you're a Jewish American princess. Hello.
Yeah,
I'm a Jewish American fossil, but you're a princess. But the thing is, you go on, you do a show. You come on, and you will be amazed at. I will show you how to do that, the hashtags and things like that. You'll be amazed that if you go on every day, take 30 minutes, and go live on YouTube, people start coming. I'll send them, all of a sudden, and they start coming, and then
wonderful. All right, all you guys who are watching, write it in. You right now. You tell me what kind of stuff you would want to see me do. Okay.
Right. What should you?
This is who I am. This is not put on for Esther. Esther knows me. This is me.
Right.
So you tell me what kind of a show you think I ought to do. I'll take your advice. I'll go get it done.
There we go, people. There, you can write in the comments. What do you, as a psychic, as a certified tarot master, and a certified psychic trained medium, and I forgot, she's an ordained minister.
But she doesn't do glurpy purple with angels. Don't do that.
Here it is. It's all, John Williams says, it's all about editing, entertaining, and compelling moments into bite-sized bits to hook people into watching the longer format. And that is true. That is true. And but if you've got a suggestion, here we go. The Dwayne says, do readings about the news, which is what we were just talking about, because that gets very powerful. People want to know.
Yes.
I mean, okay, you may just go, Esther, I can't answer that. I can't feel it.
Go.
Okay.
Do it.
Do you think Donald Trump's going to run for president and get it again?
I think he really is going to run, unless he is pinned to the wall by Congress. But it's quite true that for him, his mob, he is a king emperor, and the mob are his subjects, and they will literally walk through fire for him.
True.
So if he wants to run, whether he wins or not doesn't matter. In that, if he runs, I think that his mob will force him into office unless we stop him now.
Well, I think, and I'm hoping we had this discussion, but I think that what's his name? Merrick Garland. I call it Garland's revenge. Merrick Garland. He has not forgotten what they did to him to be on the Supreme Court. And I think we're all going to
Mitch.
As we've watched the news. Everything happens on Fridays. If you've never noticed, Fridays is always the big news drop day, or something happens.
Yeah.
I think this is what I feel is going to happen. As scary as it seems that the idiot may run again, that what I think is going to happen is they are dotting the I's and crossing the T's, because they know what they have to do to get him. It's like Cuomo was taken down, because of what happened with the Me Too and the women.
Tish James just went in with a microscope. Yes, she did.
But
yes, she did.
What the hell? There's 26 women that have been sexually abused by Trump, and he's still walking free. So my thought is, I think we're going to wake up one morning, and if you just watch the pieces of the puzzle coming together in the last couple of months, puzzles, I think we're going to wake up one morning when a bunch of these people are going to be indicted, and they're going to.
It would be lovely, but remember, a lot of them were subpoenaed before, and they said, screw you and the horse you rode in on, and they just didn't come in for the subpoenas. So in that sense, it's it's dicey.
But he was president, and he had the power to keep them. He's not president anymore, and that's killing him. He doesn't have the bully pulpit anymore, and he doesn't have those, because what happens is Miss Pelosi or even Mr. Schumer can have the sergeant of arms arrest them and bring them in. And don't think that they won't do that. They didn't do that.
It'd be nice.
They didn't do it the last.
It'd be nice,
because you had the Justice Department and everybody else. Anyway, everybody's just enough. Just come on, people, give me some. So the news. I think people I think that's what it is. I think it's just being topical of what's happening during the day. And then, as you know, just like what we started off here talking almost 35 minutes ago, we started here, but now we're here, and then we'll end up going there. hold on, the emperor with no clothes and all serious. So yeah, those are my feelings right now.
Mhm.
Is that I think something. I just really believe something's going to happen. Yes, I think they're going to try another insurrection type thing because that idiot, the pillow guy, gonna like,
Oh, please. Oh, please.
you know,
Um, one of the things that we're getting a little hit on is watch your back around 9/11 because it's the 20th anniversary.
Mhm.
Plus, now the Taliban has free reign in Afghanistan. And to me, either foreign power is going to come in and say, America's a paper tiger, or the MAGA hats may say, great, if America's that weak, then let's topple Biden and put in Trump, because they're all convinced that Trump will be not reelected, reinstated.
He just he was supposed to have been reinstated the other day on the 13th or the 12th or something. But
Hey,
they
how
moved it
many
up.
times have they said the end of the world and they keep moving it and moving it and moving it and moving it? A
Right,
different calendar.
right. No, they, Lindell changed it to sometime in September. I think he had a fart and a spirit spoke to him and said, "Nope, it's happening here." And
Yeah.
I just think we are fortunate. I mean, listen, Biden was put in a terrible situation. He was left
Of course
across
it was.
shit, as you know, the mainstream media doesn't do their job. They're the clickbait capital of the world is the mainstream media. They wanted right now they're always trying to get a gotcha moment with Biden.
Mhm.
They want to find something that's going to keep people tuning in. And it's like this week. It was so funny. One of the MSNBC anchors said 95% of America is behind Biden in his decision to end the war, but 95% of the news media is against him. Think about it. That was an actual quote. Why? Because they
If
don't.
it's anybody's, look, Bush, way back. Bush should have, gotten Bin Laden and done.
Right.
Bush, then Obama, then Trump. Trump negotiated with the Taliban, didn't even bother with the Afghan government,
Right.
let 5,000 Taliban prisoners out. Trump, I think, knew at that point that he was not really going to be reelected and was setting it up to booby trap Biden.
Right.
He had the foreign policy chops of My Little Pony. And
right.
So he didn't care what he did. He's your typical bully.
Right.
He can't build a sandcastle, but by God, he'll kick yours.
Right.
Till it's, nothing.
At the end of the day, when you look at the United States map that shows you the red and the blue, it always seems like there's more red.
Yeah.
Because they have more land. But there's more
Yes.
of us. There's more of us that believe in this country than these crazy morons.
That's why the Republicans are doing everything they can to strip voting rights.
Correct. And if we can get that passed, listen, Nancy Pelosi is not a dumb lady. She is not a
No,
dumb
she's not.
lady. She has to wrangle in some of these, progressives. But I truly believe it's going to be a bumpy road. It ain't going to be easy because as you know, Corbie, people don't read anymore. The young people, as you said, our job now is to teach the millennials and the Gen Zs and the Gens before them, because these kids don't know what's happening. Do you know a majority of these children have no idea what's happening in the news? They're graduating from high school and don't even know how government works.
It's because critical thinking has been 86ed. And sound bites are everything. Unfortunately, remember how they said, little sound bites will make you watch more?
Right.
They live on sound bites.
Right.
If you go back and you watch, how on YouTube they'll show, commercials from the 1960s. Commercials were a minute long. Right. And you look at those now, and there's no way that people would have that kind of an attention span. Look, literally, our attention span they've measured it. It's down to about 8 seconds. Do you know what the attention span of a goldfish is? 12 seconds. We're worse than goldfish.
Are you serious? But it's true.
Yes.
It's true. I mean, none of these kids, are watch television. I was talking to somebody the other day in the elevator, this young kid. I go, yeah, you're watching the news? About what? I said, about Afghanistan. What's happening? And you just go, are you kidding me? Listen, I'm intrigued. Corbie, I'm intrigued with your work with Robert Schwartz. From what I understand, he specializes in incarnation blueprints and life plans. Can you share your experience with pre-life plans? Well, I don't even know about this.
All right, sure. I am one of the only 2 channels that has worked with Robert Schwartz in all 3 of his books, Your Soul's Plan, Your Soul's Gift, Your Soul's Love. The other one is my good buddy, Stacy Wells. What John is talking about are pre-birth plans. Stacy is the only one I know that can actually get your pre-birth plan for you. What I did for Rob was, I'm kind of his priest inspirer storyteller. I'm the one who got the past lives for him in detail. And I am the one that can actually channel your higher self, your soul, for you to talk to.
Now I'm trying
to remember, this is your soul. This is your incarnation. You know, they're attached, but there's a lot more here than is here. So that's what I did for Rob. Now, people say, well, if you have pre-birth planning, what about free will? It's simple. You go to college, you're a history major. Now, you could take gut courses or double major plus lab.
Right.
That's your free will. Either way, whether you take an easy life or you keep making stupid mistakes, you're going to graduate with the learning you needed. That's your major. That's why you can have both.
See, I'm trying to understand this because I've never heard this before. Believe it or not. I was like, now, who is Robert Schwartz? Because I'm like going intrigued by your work. Now, who is Robert Schwartz? Help me on
Robert Schwartz. Robert Schwartz has done a great deal of work on life between lives and how we plan our lives before we get here. Because karma is not just carrot and stick, bad and good. That's kindergarten stuff. Karma is actually 5 things. Unbalanced energy, which is a neutral.
Right.
Healing, service, contrast. You want to live an abundant, we'll learn about abundance. You have to have a rich life and a poor life, and healing of beliefs. When you understand it that way, you stop thinking he must have had that disease because he was a bad person. Let's take my favorite example. I use it for a life that came down in service.
Okay.
That's Ryan White. Ryan White got AIDS from a blood transfusion back when it wasn't known, and he was a pariah. And he died at age 18 or 19. But who befriended him was Elton John. And at this point, Elton was hip deep in drugs and alcohol and, all kinds of horrible, horrible addictions. But his friendship with Ryan White changed him so much that when Ryan died, he went and got completely clean and sober and has been for 30 years. And he started the Elton John AIDS Foundation, which has now raised $500 million for HIV and AIDS research. Ryan White and Elton John's souls agreed that Ryan and Elton would have this relationship and that Ryan would take a short lifespan if it could make that much of a difference in the world. That's why you don't say that Ryan White must have had bad karma. He was a courageous soul to volunteer to do this.
My friend Jeffrey Mack, who has worked for the Kennedy Center, he just became vice president of the Matthew Shepard Foundation. And Matthew Shepard is another one of those young people whose life was cut short, and people go, "Oh, he was because he was gay." Remember that whole thing? No.
Oh God, yes, I do.
It's another situation to where a person, a soul, a human being, was put on this earth. I'm saying for such good over what that, God rest his soul, what he, in a short time he was here, it impacted so many people, just like Ryan White. I remember I get tears just thinking about it. The 80s was such a shit for everybody.
I know.
But so I get it now, okay? Because I didn't understand what John obviously knows a hell of a lot more than I do, but that's why I have you on the show so I can understand some of the stuff. So, so your pre-life plans, it's not genetic. Is it like, for instance, someone said, I have met, okay, I've talked to somebody and they said, "Oh my God, we must have known each other in another life." Is that like
possibly
pre-life? I'm just
saying,
is that an example?
All right. Yeah. For instance, there was a couple that I read for that they could not understand how they ended up married, and I was able to trace back lives where they had other kinds of relationships to get things working. So that they could have a good marriage. They had been sisters before. They had been officer and subordinate. So, because we can play all these parts.
Right.
And remember, we have to be both male and female. You don't get to choose, just one side.
Tell me about
Because
it.
you have to understand both.
Uh-huh. Interesting.
So,
those would be soul contacts, reason, season, and lifetime. I'm loving this, John.
Yep.
Is John Williams a friend of
John,
yours?
I have no idea who. The only John Williams I know is the guy who was the conductor, and I don't think that's that John Williams.
This man starts putting up Star Wars charts. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. No, I meet people like that. I mean, my whole life has been nothing but being in the right. People say being in the right place at the right time. People go, oh, I get it all the time. When I'm not dressed as this, I'm Michael. Everybody knows that. It's not. This is my character. Like Tyler Perry has Medea and Barry Humphries has Dame Edna. And it's like, people go, I lost my family when I was 6. I have been on my own since I was 15. People go, oh my God, that's terrible, terrible, terrible. Oh my God, I feel so sorry. I said, no. I told somebody this the other day. I go, as shitty as it might have seemed at the time, it's what made me the person I am today. It has allowed me to be a survivor and does that make sense? It has allowed me to survive some of the craziest crap that could be thrown upon anybody, and that was my connection to the gorgeous, lovely Allie. She and I had such an incredible connection, and it was, and we never met in person, but it was like I knew her like a sister. I mean, you know how that was. I believe you might have had that too. Completely. And I am a magnet for women and men like yourself who are gifted. And it just to me it's not just intriguing. I believe in it, and I believe in fate. I believe in karma, and I believe that sometimes we're here for a reason. People keep saying you're supposed to be. This is why your ass didn't die last year from COVID, even though you passed out and died in the ambulance. Your time ain't up, Esther. You're supposed to be here.
I'll give you a perfect example. 2002, I was driving on a back road in upstate New York. There was black ice under snow, and I overcorrected my car. So it took down a tree, a telephone pole. The car flipped. It had electrical wires all over it, and I wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
Right.
I walked out with minor bruises. When we saw the car, which had been towed away, every part of the car was smashed in, but where I was sitting. You tell me I'm not supposed to be here, honey. Otherwise, but that's one of the reasons why I will not tell, I won't let my guide say when you're going to die.
Right.
Because it's not my business. If someone had told me, well, I see you dying in a car accident, I probably would have died of fright. As it was, I felt like it was an e-ticket at Disney.
Right.
So no. Look, everybody gets their ticket punched. You don't need to know when. Ride the bus as long as you can.
Okay, John, you've become our conductor here this afternoon. I think it's a piece within a puzzle of a much larger puzzle, if that makes any sense.
Oh, John, of course it does. We had pea brains. We can't understand everything. It would be kind of like trying to teach calculus to an aphid. It doesn't have enough brain. We don't have enough brain to understand everything.
Okay, hold on. I was saying, Nayela, I was told the reason my brother and I were always pushing each other was we were married in a past life. Not what a 20-year-old at the time was prepared to hear. But now.
Yeah, well.
Oh, God. And I guess I've got one wacko that's in here right now, but I'm not even going to give them the privilege of putting whatever they're writing up, because I haven't figured out how to knock people off here yet.
That's okay. That's okay.
This has been, listen, when the show is over and you want to watch this again, I'm going to have all the information of how to get in contact with Corbie, how you can write her, how you can schedule a reading, whatever it is. It's going to be on the information on this on YouTube, and everything is going to be there to get in contact with her. Now,
wonderful.
What is I'm the wacko. Oh God, I wish I could get rid of him. I don't know how to do it. He's on Twitch. There's the freaks over at Twitch. That's
blessings on your journey, honey.
I know. And Twitch is that thing. They're all like, have you seen Twitch? Have you been on Twitch yet?
No, thank God.
It's the most bizarre. It's the new social media thing, but it's all gamers, and they're like stoned out of their mind. doing this whole thing.
All right.
Bless you. But no, we're not gonna, nobody can, the wonderful thing is there's nobody watching on Twitch except for this moron. So nobody sees, I don't know if you can see what he's writing. Do you see it?
Yeah, I do. That's why I put my glasses on, and you know,
Right.
look,
But only
you can't do this
can.
professionally without you run into the yahoos.
Oh,
Which is why I just look and say blessings on your journey, honey. I couldn't read 1,000 people a year for a couple of decades if I was that much of a fraud.
well, you know what I try to tell people, okay, in a way, you are a public figure. What you do allows you to be in the public, especially when you come on and do shows like this with people like me, and you do other shows and you speak and you go to conventions and talk and what have you. So, I used to, I bring her up because I love her so much. Allie used to get so upset because she always took it personally. Remember? Oh my God. She would
I do.
And I used to go, Allie, put on your armor. If you allow yourself, and this is you, Corbie, this is Debbie, this is my friend Lewis, all of us, once you become a public figure, you have to have the armor so the bullets bounce off, because people will say some of the most mean hate. Oh, I've had messages. I hope you burn in an oven, you fucking Jew bitch. I have crazy stuff that has happened. I've had a stalker in LA that was crazy. And the only reason why the cops got involved was because they sent a picture of where I lived. Now, the dumbasses didn't realize I didn't walk my dog looking like this. They were looking for Esther. And it's crazy. But, it's like this person here. He's just having a blast, but he's probably sitting there with a can of lube going, oh, I'm screwing with these people. No, we're laughing at you. But what I'm saying is, as what we do in our business, we have our share of the wacko dinghoys, the crazy people.
Of course we do. Of course we do. Right. Nobody is 100%. Nobody is loved by everybody.
Hell no.
And if you're going to be a professional out in public, you've got to learn that and be the duck. Just washes off your back.
I'm just laughing. No, it's true. Do you think Cher? Do you think that Vice President Harris? Do you think they all sit around and read all the crap people say about them? You can't. You'd end up in the loony bin if you believed and read everything bad that they say about you. You just can't do it. Corbie, you have been,
yes, darling,
a total delight. Did you have fun?
I had a blast. It's so different from the other podcasts, which a lot of them are, does Bruce love me? Right. And all those stories. No, this one, it was a real wonderful conversation, except when I was hacking and dying, for which I apologize.
That's okay. But I had Ruta Lee on about a month ago, and her internet went out, and I'm sitting here going, okie dokie. It should happen. It does. But
of course it does.
Because even though I'm intuitive to things, and I believe in all of this, I have questions like I didn't know about the whole thing about pre-planned stuff like that, and I just learned that today, and I didn't know who Robert.
There you go.
Now I do.
You have an educational show, darling.
Hey. Well, listen, everybody, give a great big hand to my gorgeous, gorgeous friend, the fabulous Corbie Mitleid. Right?
Mitleid.
Mitleid. So, if you want to get a hold of Corbie, you can go to the YouTube channel, and you can look at the YouTube video, and there's all the information to get a hold of her. You can also find her on Facebook, Instagram, I believe, and I will add some of that information on this particular podcast once we get done. Corbie, thank you so much for coming in.
Always a delight to see you, Esther.
And tune in on Friday. My friend Wesley Yore, who was the star of Land of the Lost. Wesley's coming on Friday. So we're going to get lost with Wesley Yore on Friday. That's going to be a hoot and a half. But anyway.
I'm watching.
My girlfriend, Corbie Mitleid. We love her so much. Thank you so much, Corbie. Hang out.
Goodbye, my darling.
This is Esther Goldberg, and we'll see you next time.